The wind carries to scent the dry grass of the savannah, and death. It is the second that has drawn them here, for a clan of Homo habilis, a family of ancient humans whose lives are at daily negotiation with hunger. The smell is a promise that beggars all caution. Before them lies a mountain of flesh, a fallen giant, another IUM. Its great, downward curving tusks half buried in the soil, has surrendered its life to age or sickness. Its stillness is an event, a tectonic shift in the landscape of survival. The scale of the opportunity is staggering, almost incomprehensible. This is not a meal, it is a season. For the small band of hominid history's earliest pioneers, this is the greatest treasure they have ever known. The Old One, his face a map of scars and survival, circles the behemoth. He moves with a slow, deliberate caution, his eyes scanning the horizon, not the prize. He knows that such a gift from nature is never given freely. The younger males and females follow his lead, their excitement a palpable tremor held in check by the ancient discipline of fear. They clutch their precious stones, the core of their primitive technology. These are old Owen tools, choppers and flakes painstakingly chipped from river cobbles, crude to a later eye. But here, they are the key to unlocking a universe of calories. The hide of the D in other IUM is an inch-thick wall of leather, impenetrable to tooth and nail, but not to stone, not to ingenuity. With a low grunt, the Old One gives the signal. The work begins. It is a frantic, coordinated dance of survival. Two males, lean with muscle and recent hunger, use the sharpest flakes to begin the gruesome task of sawing through the hide at the belly, where it is softest. Their movements are practiced, efficient. This is the central craft of their existence, the bloody art that defines their place in the world. Others climb onto the vast continent of the Caucasus itself, using its height as a watcher. They are lookouts, their bodies tense, their senses stretched to the breaking point. They are watching for the other claimants, the true inheritors of this world of prehistoric life, the owners of claw and fang. It does not take long. A flicker of movement in the tall grass. A lithe, muscular form emerges, spotted and lethal. Then another. A pair of Dinophallus, saber-toothed cats built for ambush and power. They are not the largest predators on this landscape, but their confidence is absolute. They move with a liquid grace, their heads low, yellow eyes fixed on the impossible scene small. Two-legged apes carving up a prize that should be theirs. The lookouts give a series of sharp, guttural barks. The butchers freeze, their hands slick with blood. The entire clan tenses, a single organism sensing a mortal threat. This is the price. The feast has begun, but so has the seed. There is no panic. Panic is a luxury for creatures who can outrun their mistakes. For these early humans, there is only a cold, calculated response. The butchers rise, their stone tools now weapons. The lookouts clamber down from their perch, adding their numbers to the line. They form a bristling semicircle at the edge of the carcass, a wall of defiant posture and angry noise. They scream, a cacophony of guttural threats. They beat their choppers against the massive ribs of the D and other IUM, creating a hollow, booming drumbeat. A young male, bolder than the rest, hurls a heavy stone. It lands short, but the message is clear. This prize will be defended. The Dinophallus are predators of stealth, not prolonged confrontation. They hesitate, snarling, their confidence eroded by this unexpected, organized resistance. After a tense standoff, they melt back into the grass, vanishing as quickly as they appeared. A victory, but a temporary one. The sun bleeds across the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and violet. Beautiful and terrifying. The Old One knows the coming darkness will erase their advantage of sight and embolden the true masters of the night. His foresight is their most potent weapon. He issues a series of sharp commands. The frantic butchery resumes, but with a new purpose. They are not just harvesting meat, they are creating a fortress. Rib bones are wrenched from the carcass and jammed into the earth, forming a crude palisade. Stones are piled high. They work with a desperate energy. Their movements economical. Their focus absolute. This is the essence of human evolution, the ability to see our future threat and reshape the present to meet it. A young female, tasked with gathering dry brush for a fire, strays too far. A trio of hyenas, drawn by the scent of blood, bursts from a thicket. They are on her in a heartbeat. Their whooping calls a prelude to a kill. Before the clan can react, a large male intercepts them. He doesn't have a spear, no advanced weapon of this later age of hominid history. He has a heavy femur bone from the D and other IUM and a desperate courage. He swings the club in a wild arc, connecting with the lead hyena's skull with a sickening crack. The pack scatters, dragging their stunned leader with them. The male stands over the trembling female for a moment, his chest heaving, before nudging her back towards the safety of the carcass. It is an act of pure altruism, an instinct to protect the group's future, even at the cost of the self. This is a cornerstone of their burgeoning society, a critical component of their survival skills. Back at the carcass, another group carefully nurtures a glowing coal they have carried for days in a hollowed, unforeseen animal horn. They feed it wisps of the driest grass, glowing gently, coaxing it into a flame. The first flicker of fire in the encroaching gloom is a miracle. Night descends, absolute and swift. Their world shrinks to a small island of firelight atop a mountain of meat. Beyond the wavering glow, the darkness is alive. The Pleistocene megafauna have gathered. Eyes glitter in the blackness, a constellation of hungry predators. The sounds are a symphony of dread, the deep rumble of a lion's throat, the sawing rasp of a leopard, the incessant, unnerving calls of the hyena packs. The clan huddles together, their backs to the fire, faces pointed out into the terrifying abyss. They are witnesses to a living process of taphonomy, a focal point where life and death converge on a colossal scale. They are no longer just butchers. They are gatekeepers, holding back the tide of a hungry world. Then, a new sound silences all others. A heavy, rhythmic crashing through the brush. The ground seems to vibrate with it. A shadow detaches itself from the deeper darkness, a form so immense it blots out the stars. It is the short-faced bear. Hagrielder IUM, the predator of unimaginable power. And it has come for the feast. The fire spits and hisses, a defiant but dwindling heart in the overwhelming darkness. The Agriother RUM pays it little mind. This is a force of nature that does not negotiate. It rises on its hind legs, a monolithic silhouette against the faint starlight, and lets out a deafening roar that is less a sound and more a physical glow. The very air trembles. The clan shrinks back, their frantic shouts and booming ribs now sounding like the chirps of frightened insects. The bear drops back to all fours and takes a deliberate step forward, its immense head swinging low, tasting the air. Its eyes, small and black, reflect the fire with a cold, absolute intelligence. It understands the flimsy barrier and the prize that lies behind it. The old one knows the calculus of survival has shifted. This is not a contest they can win. Their endurance is failing. The pile of wood for the fire is nearly gone. Their hurled stones bounce harmlessly off the bear's thick hide and matted fur. Every moment they remain is a gamble against an inevitable, crushing defeat. He looks at his clan, the exhausted faces of the males, the wide, terrified eyes of the females clutching their young. He sees the meat they have already cut, a precious, hard-won pile that could sustain them for weeks. To stay and defend the mountain is to lose everything, including the future. This is the brutal lesson of resource scarcity, knowing when the cost of acquisition exceeds the value of the prize. His decision is made in an instant, a flash of insight that is the very spear tip of their evolution. He gives a low, urgent whistle, the sound that cuts through the chaos. It is the signal for retreat. There is no debate. Their trust in his experience is absolute, a bond forged in 100 similar crises that define their hominid history. The community acts as one. The strongest males heave the largest sections of meat onto their shoulders. Others grab smaller pieces, their movements swift and silent. A rear guard, including the Old One himself, snatches up the last of the burning branches from the fire. This is the essence of their success as a species, a glimpse into the deep past of prehistory and anthropology. It is not brute strength, but coordinated, intelligent retreat. With the bear momentarily distracted, sniffing at the crude bone palisade, they slip off the far side of the colossal D in other IUM carcass. They move like ghosts into the tall grass, swallowed by the same darkness that had been their prison. As they put distance between themselves and the siege, they hear a splintering crash and a guttural roar of triumph. The bear has breached their fortress. The sound of its feasting, of tearing flesh and snapping bone, covers their escape. They do not look back. They are a small, weary procession, burdened by their bloody treasure, melting into the grey promise of dawn. They have lost the mountain, but they carry the hill, and they are alive. This single truth, burned over 72 hours of unrelenting terror, is the only victory that matters in a life lived a million years ago. We pull back from the savannah, leaving the small band of human ancestors to their journey. The D and other IUM carcass, now claimed by the bear and a growing legion of scavengers, becomes a frantic ecosystem of consumption. Its brief role in hominid history concluded. The siege was a failure, a tactical retreat from an unwinnable battle, but in the grander chronicle of human evolution, it was a profound success. In that crucible of fear and desperation, something essential was forged and tempered the blueprint for us. The foresight to build a defense, the altruism to risk one's life for another, the intelligence to recognize defeat, and the communal trust to execute a flawless retreat. These were the tools that mattered more than any sharpened stone. They did not conquer the beast, but they outfought the circumstance. They chose the future over the present, the clan over the prize. How much of our own resilience, our ability to form societies and solve impossible problems, is merely an echo of that choice, made in the firelight and terror of a long-forgotten night? This is the Chronicle. We do not judge, we only bear witness. And in the silence that remains, we listen for the truths that have survived. The first rains have come to the valley, washing away the blood, but not the memory.